Thank y'all for reaching out. Thank y'all for interacting with me, watching my videos. I truly love every single one of you, bro. And this channel's going up all 2025, like I said, and my Miles Morales videos, which I have not finished, by the way. But as someone that used to work in retail, this video stood out to me because I will honestly say some of the worst jobs ever I had in my life were retail and fast food. And if anyone else has a similar experience, come to the front, please, because I think we all deserve reparations or something. Because I really don't think the rest of the world truly gets how bad retail jobs are. But anyways, man, if you're here, like, subscribe, and let's get into the video, bro. I love you all.
Retail, the place where you tell people.
Oh, that's mad loud.
People you don't have it in the back, yet they still insist you go check it anyways.
Right.
However, in this stupidity, you will meet some fire coworkers, deal with hella angry customers yelling at you, and most importantly, start making money. Just to end up spending it on more shit you don't need.
Right.
One major factor to actually getting this paycheck though, is developing the ability to tolerate mass amounts of nonsense. That way you actually keep your...
Dude, I really feel like I used to work at H&M, bro. I have videos when I worked at H&M. I used to work at H&M, Zoomies, and I'm trying to think. I forgot the other place, but I used to work at H&M and Zoomies, bro, and like the amount of times someone asked me to go check in the back, but like the back of H&M is nothing. So there was nothing back there, and I would tell them like, hey, there's like genuinely nothing back there. Like, oh, can you check anyways? Sure. You don't understand how bad that pisses me off when I tell you there's nothing back there, because the way H&M works is it works on like scanners, bro. So like if you don't have something in this store, it's not in this store, and it's not going to be in this store. It's going to be either online or at a different store. That store was St. Matthews at the time. So I was like, yeah, you have to drive to Louisville if you want that. And they're like, can you not just get us in here? Dude, like you're going... Just drive to St. Matthews, bro. It's like 30 minutes away. Just lazy, bro. And then they had like always had an attitude, and especially the old ones. The worst retail customers you can ever deal with are always going to be the older ones, because they just don't understand how this shit works. And I remember my job set me up for death when we had to start charging 10 cents for a fucking paper bag, by the way. Like one of those little brown ones that you would take lunch in. And they used to eat me alive, bro. Managers did not care.
Your job so you can get paid. Then some time goes by and you're not working retail anymore, when you only now realize how much nonsense you actually tolerated just to get paid peanuts. Like I remember getting my first retail job. Like I'm talking middle of high school, 10th grade, $0 to my name, so I decided to apply to every damn store I possibly could. Back then, I didn't know how niggas were getting jobs, so my ass got creative and posted a video of myself on some recruitment page on my local mall's website. Surprisingly, it worked, and I actually managed to land my first interview. Job interviews in general are always fucking terrible, but retail...
Bro, one thing about job interviews, listen, anyone that's watching this video, listen. If you go for a job interview, it's supposed to be a competitive interview. It's supposed to be like, oh, what are your skills? What do you bring? Da-da-da-da-da, If you get hired on the fucking spot, yo, can you start today? Can you start tomorrow? When's the soonest you can start? Run for the hills. I fell victim to this once because I really needed the money and I lost my sanity in the process. They will kill you, bro. And the ones you need help with, like that you rely on, like supervisors and managers and shit, they like to go hide in the back. But don't you dare step foot in the back until your break time though. Right? Oh, I'm doing paperwork. I'll go back there, open up the door, you're on your phone. Good job.
Job interviews were somehow always worse. First, you gotta pull up to the store looking like a complete and utter dumbass because you don't know where the hell you're going. Then you have to tell the cashier that you're here for your interview, in which she has no idea what you're talking about, so she proceeds to tell her coworker.
That's exactly what the fuck happened. That's exactly what the fuck happened.
who also has no idea what you're talking about, so finally they go get the manager. Once the manager arrives, the interview always started one of two ways. One,
before he even says anything, for one, they either like ask you all the questions right there. All right, come back Thursday for your orientation. Or they take you to the back and they do a sit down and ask you questions like, do you know the store? Da 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 da. That's my guess.
she takes you to the back and sits you down, where she proceeds to interrogate the living shit out of you. Two, she takes you to some damn corner on the floor instead. Now you're not only being...
Dude, I do this, bro. I do this, bro. Tell me, bro. Take it from me. What did I tell you, bro? It's either on the spot or in the back asking you questions about the story, bro.
Ask the most confusing questions in your life, but you're also being watched by everyone in that damn store, including the customers. He then proceeds to ask you the typical trick questions like, tell me about yourself, aka, what experience do you have doing this job? Or how are you with multitasking? AKA, are you fine with working 8 different job descriptions at once? In which, at this age, you're going to answer incorrectly every single damn time. I remember once I responded by saying, my name's David, I like playing sports, I enjoy helping people, I play games. In which she stared at me with the straightest face possible. You would have thought I was about to turn to stone. If you get unlucky, some jobs will bring you to the personality phase, which genuinely makes you question what the hell you're even applying for.
Right.
I remember one time I was mid-interview for a clothing store, and the nigga goes,
would it be a home appliance? Which one would you be?
what the fuck? I looked at him like, bro.
If I had to be a home appliance, bruh, even though this is kind of like a crazy question, if I had to be a home appliance, I would be... Something to really think about, bruh. I would probably be a fucking... Probably like a lamp. Probably like a lamp, yeah. Because you got to use your lamps. You fuck with a lamp all day. You know, you don't want to turn the big light on, bro. You know, you get used the most. You know what I'm saying? They need you.
I'm trying to be a sales associate where I fold shirts and pants. This isn't fucking Home Depot. What job role did I apply for? Where am I? After realizing I didn't know how to answer this question, he excitingly goes,
I'll go first. I'd be a fridge. Because what you put in is what you get out.
nigga, if you don't get the fuck. Eventually, the questions stop and your interview comes to an end, where the manager would tell me I'm hired and she's excited to see me on Thursday. I remember hearing I got the job and I was so excited. My mind was already racing, thinking about all the shit I'm about to buy with that first paycheck. Little did I know, I was about to be traumatized for the rest of...
What did I tell you, bro? And the fan just cut on, bro. Sorry if you guys can hear that. But like I said, if they hire you on the spot and, you know, oh, we'll call you later, da-da-da. If they really need you, bro, that means that people are constantly in and out that job, bro. Like McDonald's shouldn't be hard to get on McDonald's because people were quitting every day, including me. I worked at McDonald's for like a summer. Had to leave, bro. Fuck that job.
Of my life. If you work in a retail job where there's a lot of people, you'll probably have a decent training process where you actually learn how to do things properly. But if you work in a smaller store in the mall, fuck no. The store I got hired at primarily sold shoes and at a point had clothes as well. And looking back at it, training may have genuinely been hell on earth. You go from shadowing your assistant manager on how to make shoe displays to being a janitor cleaning the toilets in the damn washroom. The worst part about training is that it's ongoing when the store is busy as shit. Like, I remember she would be in the middle of explaining how to do something, in which a customer would come ask her how to find the fucking second derivative of the shoe. All of a sudden, you hear,
Excuse me.
from behind you, where you turn around and realize a customer is now coming to ask you a question.
Would you know if these shoes are, good for your heels?
Now you have to look at her as if you're a fucking deer in the headlights, because you don't even know what she just asked you. Yeah, I think, no, they're good. Matter of fact, they're great. In which she says,
Oh, really? Because you don't really seem too sure.
After awkwardly staring at each other for what felt like 10 minutes, your coworker comes to save you and proceeds to assist the lady. Finally, your assistant manager comes back, where you proceed to follow the same drown under the water training scheme, aka free ball, until things start making sense. They never started making sense. Retail schedules have always been the most confusing thing known to man, considering the fact that you either get too many shifts all over the place or got absolutely no shifts at all. It ain't like a regular job that has a consistent set schedule. You know, pull up at 8, leave at 4, Monday through Friday. You actually get a say in your schedule by providing your availability, is what I thought. For some reason, every time I had to give my availability to my manager, at least 4 of those days would have to be available per week, and half of those needed to be closing shifts. They would always tell niggas that your availability didn't necessarily mean you were guaranteed to get scheduled on every single shift. What they didn't tell you is this would only actually occur as long as they had closers in the first place. Now you have your schedule in which Monday to Wednesday you're written until 9:30 p.m, aka till the store's clean, because you would never actually leave on time. And if you're lucky, you might get a morning shift on Saturday. And don't even get me started on schedules during holiday season and retail jobs. That shit would literally take
That shit, I feel like working during Black Friday at H&M, genuinely, not even just Black Friday weekend, genuinely took 3 years off my life. That was the most stressful day ever. It was like World War Z, bro. The hordes just would not stop coming, and they just all kept asking questions, and I just had to keep asking, do you want to sign up for the what is it called, the membership thing? We're like, oh, you want to sign up for the wars, get 10% off? Yeah. Bro, and I kept getting cussed out. People kept giving me crazy looks, bro, and I'm just like, dude, I'm doing the best I can, because I couldn't stop asking for that 10-cent bag. Just because it was the holidays, they wasn't getting generous. Hey, a bag would be 10 cents. Are you serious? Like, dude, I just work here, bro.
Take years off of niggas' lives. My job likes to con the term blackout season, which literally meant you just couldn't take any time off during that said time frame. Excuse?
A blackout season is usually halfway through October until the beginning of January.
Excuse me? Like, you mean to tell me my retail job is that serious? I absolutely have to come in? Like, it would be the beginning of the winter, and so because Boxing Day is right around the corner, instead of spending Christmas season with your family, you're now in aisle 4 stacking boxes of shoes on top of each other while listening to the worst Christmas remixes of all time. What kind of system is that? Because God forbid they just coordinate properly with the team and actually schedule people who would like to work. Granted, we were a smaller store, so it may have been a little bit harder to find people, but I'm sure some niggas would have still wanted the time and a half if they would just ask. Around this season was always peak time for the Hall of Fame clopening shifts, which were literally 2 shifts back to back, causing you to close the store, get home, go to bed, and wake up and go straight back to the store again. I don't even know why this existed, considering the fact that they can literally just schedule someone else, but I mean, shit, what do I know? Dealing with customers in any job is always fucking terrible. However, retail customers may cause you to cry yourself to sleep. I couldn't tell you the amount of customers that would come in and ask the most dumbass questions you genuinely question how they even made it this far in life to begin with.
Excuse me, do you guys sell shoes here by any chance? Excuse me, where can I find the light 'em ups? Excuse me, can you check if you have this in a size 9?
Sure. Unfortunately, the system says we're out of stock.
Can you check the
No, I cannot check the back. It's almost like as soon as customers stepped into a retail store, their brain straight turned to mush and didn't even know how to function.
She looked good. Who was that?
Anymore. Then you had kids, and for the record, kids are great and one of the most beautiful things on this planet Earth. But in retail stores, fuck no.
Oh
like somehow every time a kid was in the store, not only are they yelling their ass off, screaming, crying, but their parents are somehow nowhere to be found, and the kids
And they're always hiding under the fucking clothes, bruh. Popping out like random NPCs from Pokemon, bro. Like, I hate, like there needs to be a rule. Like, you gotta carry your kids if you go into a retail store, bro.
proceeding to kick every single possible box of shoes on the ground. Even in the cases where the parent was around, they would have a kid on a big ass stroller that for whatever reason could barely fit through the aisle, and somehow absolutely bulldoze every single shoe in that area, and then leave it on the floor, making you have to clean it up. Because I was a sales associate, or I guess you could say product specialist, I would have to have knowledge on our shoes so that when customers asked me the question, I didn't look like a complete idiot. However, there were always those customers that asked the most niche questions of all time.
Do you know if these are good for plantar fasciitis?
I don't know, I'm not a doctor.
Do you know if my gym floor in my local neighborhood would allow these shoes?
I don't know, I don't work at your gym.
Do you know if you could file my taxes?
What?
Do you know if these shoes are less than 37% polyester, 45% rubber, 2% plastic, 3% dog, machine washable? Can they be recyclable? Are they good for the environment?
Your retail store manager not only determines your sanity during your working hours, but also determines how long you would be staying at that fucking job. You would think that because they were hiring high schoolers, they would be a little more understanding. However, if you're like me, you've dealt with some of the most corrupt managers of all time. Niggas would show up one singular minute late, and then the next thing you know, they're on the verge of giving you a write-up. Or it'll be the end of your midday shift, where you're finally packing up and you're about to go home. When you're about to leave the store, the manager looks at you square in the face and goes,
Where are you going?
home?
You can't leave until your section's clean.
What the fuck? You'll be chilling at your boy's crib when all of a sudden you get a notification on your phone talking about your schedule has been updated. After unlocking your phone and opening the app, you realize you're now supposed to be opening tomorrow morning instead of starting at 5 p.m. Because your plans...
Yeah, I ain't have like a lot of that shit happen to me, bro. Anyways, guys, my advice to you, bro, is like, if you're looking for a job, try to find something chill. Try to find like an office job, like a paid internship or something, computer. You know, try to work, if you're in school or college, work for your school or university, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere but retail and fast food. Those are my 2 places to avoid. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, and I love you all. We're going up all year. Peace.